1-0 defeat at home at the hands of Bordeaux at the weekend, and subsequently make 5 changes. In come Traore, Niamzi, Nzonzi, Doku and Lisicki. Out go Aguirre, Sopi, Terrier, Tate and Del Castillo. For Frank Lampard's Blues, well, they beat Newcastle 2-0 away last time out, but still make 4 changes. Ziyech, Kante, James and Rudiger out. In come Hudson-Odoi, Jorginho, Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta. We're closing in on kick-off at Rozon Park, where Stade Rennais take on Chelsea in the Champions League Group E. For Julian Stefan's Red and Blacks, they're looking for a change of fortune after a 1-0 defeat at home at the hands of Bordeaux at the weekend, and subsequently make 5 changes. In come Traore, Niamzi, Nzonzi, Doku and Lisicki. Out go Aguirre, Sopi, Terrier, Tate and Del Castillo. For Frank Lampard's Blues, well, they beat Newcastle 2-0 away last time out, but still make 4 changes. Ziyech, Kante, James and Rudiger out. In come Hudson-Odoi, Jorginho, Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta. We're closing in on kick-off at Rozon Park, where Stade Rennais take on Chelsea in the Champions League Group E. For Julian Stefan's Red and Blacks, they're looking for a change of fortune after a 1-0 defeat at home at the hands of Bordeaux at the weekend, and subsequently make 5 changes. In come Traore, Niamzi, Nzonzi, Doku and Lisicki. Out go Aguirre, Sopi, Terrier, Tate and Del Castillo. For Frank Lampard's Blues, well, they beat Newcastle 2-0 away last time out, but still make 4 changes. Ziyech, Kante, James and Rudiger out. In come Hudson-Odoi, Jorginho, Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta. We're closing in on kick-off at Rozon Park, where Stade Rennais take on Chelsea in the Champions League Group E. For Julian Stefan's Red and Blacks, they're looking for a change of fortune after a 1-0 defeat at home at the hands of Bordeaux at the weekend, and subsequently make 5 changes. In come Traore, Niamzi, Nzonzi, Doku and Lisicki. Out go Aguirre, Sopi, Terrier, Tate and Del Castillo. For Frank Lampard's Blues, well, they beat Newcastle 2-0 away last time out, but still make 4 changes. Ziyech, Kante, James and Rudiger out. In come Hudson-Odoi, Jorginho, Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta. We're closing in on kick-off at Rozon Park, where Stade Rennais take on Chelsea in the Champions League Group E. For Julian Stefan's Red and Blacks, they're looking for a change of fortune after a 1-0 defeat at home at the hands of Bordeaux at the weekend, and subsequently make 5 changes. In come Traore, Niamzi, Nzonzi, Doku and Lisicki. Out go Aguirre, Sopi, Terrier, Tate and Del Castillo. For Frank Lampard's Blues, well, they beat Newcastle 2-0 away last time out, but still make 4 changes. Ziyech, Kante, James and Rudiger out. In come Hudson-Odoi, Jorginho, Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta. We're closing in on kick-off at Rozon Park, where Stade Rennais take on Chelsea in the Champions League Group E. For Julian Stefan's Red and Blacks, they're looking for a change of fortune after a 1-0 defeat at home at the hands of Bordeaux at the weekend, and subsequently make 5 changes. In come Traore, Niamzi, Nzonzi, Doku and Lisicki. Out go Aguirre, Sopi, Terrier, Tate and Del Castillo. For Frank Lampard's Blues, well, they beat Newcastle 2-0 away last time out, but still make 4 changes. Ziyech, Kante, James and Rudiger out. In come Hudson-Odoi, Jorginho, Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta. We're closing in on kick-off at Rozon Park, where Stade Rennais take on Chelsea in the Champions League Group E. For Julian Stefan's Red and Blacks, they're looking for a change of fortune after a 1-0 defeat at home at the hands of Bordeaux at the weekend, and subsequently make 5 changes. In come Traore, Niamzi, Nzonzi, Doku and...
Right, the players are taking a knee, so they're about to kick off at Rozon Park. And just taking a look at some of the home team players. They've got a very interesting front line, plenty of young talent in there. Sehu, Girassi being the focal point, I suppose, 6'2", has all of a sudden found a route to goal. But Rennes have been pretty disappointed. I've just kicked off, by the way. The Red and Blacks are on the ball, and they go back to their goalkeeper Gomes, who launched it toward the halfway line. And of course, talking about goalkeepers, who'd have thought Edouard Mendy would be back at Rozon Park so quickly after his move. You know, weird how life goes. I would say that Edouard Mendy, excuse me, might well be the best goalkeeper in the Premier League on current form, and he's currently on the ball. Probably jinxed him now. I have poor clearance from Mendy, and that's picked up in the middle of the park by Bourigeaud. He doesn't make ground. The ball goes out to the right hand side as Julien Stéphan, the Stade Rennais manager, just in the technical area, arms folded across his chest. You couldn't say that they're playing well at the minute. Defeat the hands of Bordeaux at home in Ligue 1 last time out wasn't particularly good. They're probably somewhere around the mid-table 7th, but I think they've played more than some of the opposition teams around them. Anyway, Chelsea, for me, haven't really been mentioned as potential Premier League winners this season, but I think they are, or could be. I'd not be surprised at all. I think there's real strength in depth. You know, Frank Lampard doesn't know his best team just yet. But when you can bring players like Giroud into the mix, you're not doing badly, are you? He's not playing today, by the way. You see a shot come in from Ben Chilwell. Funny time to get a frog in my throat, but I have. You'll just have to bear with me a second. But Chelsea on the ball, all in white tonight. Kovacic lays it back to Mason Mount, and he goes back. Ball picked up by Kurt Zouma, and then Thiago Silva. Ball goes out left to Chilwell, then Mount, and into the middle of the park again for Timo Werner. Ball driven out, and it doesn't reach the intended target of Azpilicueta. Lee Saliki trying to make some ground. He's still going. Eventually brought down by Azpilicueta. Well, I thought he was, but referee Bjorn Kuipers didn't give it. And in the end, Kurt Zouma's come in and does some good work. Yeah, I was again back to the point about Chelsea. I don't see why they can't go on and win Premier League. You know, Liverpool may be the best team, but they've got all sorts of injury problems. I think a few players coming back. Pulisic might be back at the weekend. We talked about Giroud. I mean, loads of clubs would. It'd be a dream to have a striker like that starting for them. As Hudson-Odoi puts a great ball in. What a miss from Timo Werner. What a miss. Ball coming from his right hand side, and he hits it right footed, and he gets it all wrong. It should be 1-0. That's a wonderful cross from Hudson-Odoi. Timo Werner has to let that ball come across him, hit it left footed. He goes with his right, shins it up into the night sky. And it was on the bounce in front of him, but that's a shocking miss. Another couple of things I was going to say. You've got Giroud, you've got Tammy Abraham, and Frank Lampard had been starting Timo Werner in front of both of them. Timo Werner's playing out left today, or left-hand side, inside left, if you like. I know he works hard for the team, but surely a striker gets judged on his goals, as Mount just shows a bit too much then to Bourigeaud. But the ball coming straight back to Chelsea, and then with Chilwell. For me, jury's out on Timo Werner. I did watch him in that shocking defeat for Germany at the hands of Spain. When you looked at the Spain team, they weren't necessarily up to much, but they destroyed Germany, and quite good to watch actually. Anyway, Mason Mount to Tammy Abraham into the box, but forced to turn back, goes back to Chilwell at the edge of the box, then to Jorginho. Ball out to the right hand side. Hudson-Odoi shows. They keep it tight down that side with Azpilicueta. Now Hudson-Odoi looking for the give and go, gets the ball back, eventually at his feet, eventually flicked away by Bourigeaud, and that will be a corner kick. So Chelsea should have the lead, but Timo Werner's miss was terrible from close range. Shins the ball over. That should have been bulging. An awful technique. I mean, I think the ball coming from his right, he should let it go across him, and then he's able to side foot it with his left, but he's clearly all right foot. We see a header come in from Kurt Zouma from that corner kick, but it's been dealt with. Eventually Traore looking to clear his lines, but the ball's been won back now. Chilwell throws it into the box. Niamzi gets the header away. Ball breaks to Mason Mount, and in the end Truffert gets a foot in. That would be a throw to Chelsea, parallel with the edge of the area. Yeah, I mean, for me, I've often thought that, I don't know how Giroud looks in training. It must be terrible, because how many managers have kept leaving him out, and then you see the actual amount of time he spends on the pitch, how many goals he actually gets, and you think it's a no-brainer that you start him. Now he's a little bit older, isn't he? And you think, well, all right, there's an excuse why you wouldn't play him every week. Lampard's down on record as saying Ollie plays a big part in his plans. If he didn't want him, he would know. But I think Giroud probably a bit tired of seemingly being behind Werner and also Tammy Abraham in the pecking order, particularly bearing in mind the quality that he's got. Now he wants to give reminders to the French national team that he's around and what he can do. I did cover France in the recent internationals, as we see across from Azpilicueta, headed up in the air. Werner then wins it, but the ball helped on. Now maybe a chance. Girassi had come to pick the ball up, but Lee Siliki had been brought down, and referee, well, I mean, it probably should have been a yellow card. That Kovacic coming in, catching Lee Siliki late. Anyway, the Dutchman just given a free kick. That's all. And again, Julian Stefan looks on. I haven't seen Frank Lampard yet in his technical area, but I think he'd be pretty pleased with the start that's been made. They should be 1-0 up, Chelsea. I've got a feeling that, because it often happens, that Timo Werner will have me eating my words. And if you're a Chelsea fan, it'd be nice to think so. All that work rate, I mean, you can't fault the amount of work that he puts in. But as a striker, as an attacker, you're always going to be judged on goals and assists, and needs to do that a little bit more. I've likened him a bit to Dirk Kuyt, but what he can't be is Robert Rizzo. You know, maybe Emil Heskey at the back end of his career, somebody who, you know, everyone else likes playing with because of his work rate, but doesn't really get on the end of things or contribute that much. Anyway, ball won by Chilwell. He's done well. And then the clearance nearly falls at the feet of Lee Siliki. And Zonzi flicks the ball on. And maybe a chance here for Stade Rennais to get going. Amari Traore now on the ball as they're trying to make some ground. Jeremy Doku. The ball goes left now. Bourigeaud, and then back to Truffert again, and Zonzi, who's a loanee from Roma for the French side. But he is a French former international. Yeah, getting back to Giroud. Desperate, isn't he, to play for France? But when I watched them, they were trading on pace up top and all that. Without Mbappe, they had Griezmann and Coman. Somebody else in the front three who was pretty quick. I'm struggling to remember who that was. So they've got an option with pace, but then obviously at times it doesn't work out, and so you need that target man as well. Giroud is certainly that, isn't he? Anyway, I feel he's a bit hard done by not getting as much game time. Chilwell brings down Serhou Guirassy, and he's having a moan at Kuipers. Guirassy just gets in front of him, and then he's looking to turn him. Chilwell got in a bit too deep, that's all. And now a little break down the left hand side with Camavinga. Ball looking for Guirassy. Thiago Silva comes to meet him, and then Kovacic just steps in front of Lee Siliki. Ball goes back though, and then to the back two. Skipper for Stade Rennais. Des Silva picks it up. He finds the Malian Amari Traore. Ball goes back then with Niamsi now. He picks it up. And the ball back to the left hand side for the Belgian Jeremy Doku. Ball driven long to Traore out the right hand side. And he's looking for the give and go. Steps back on his inside though. Nearly runs into trouble. But he's overrun it anyway. Gives the ball away to Chilwell. And he thought he scraped it off one of those red and black players. But nothing doing. As I mentioned, Chelsea all in white tonight. Very easy to pick out. And it's Rennes 0, Chelsea 0 so far. At Rozon Park it is Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 0. But the Blues should be a goal up. There's a lovely break down the right hand side from Callum Hudson-Odoi. He looked up and delivered a perfect ball into the middle. There was Timo Werner. Ball coming from his right hand side. He probably should have let the ball go across his body to side foot it in from close range with his left foot. He took it on with his right, shinned it up into the night sky, and all that from about 4 yards. Still 0-0. So he needs to settle down into his career. Maybe a goal or two will give him a bit of confidence. I mean, you don't get signed by Chelsea and play for Germany if you're rubbish, do you? I'll be hoping that he can show true colours once he does settle down into his career just a little bit. Anyway, Thiago Silva now on the ball, and he's been closed down, eventually fouled by Camavinga, and the referee blowing his whistle. Camavinga there all over him like a cheap suit, and just needed to hold off Thiago Silva. There was every trick in the book there, just turned away from his man, forced him into a foul really. I think a good start by Chelsea. But a bad miss by Werner. But more expected, and I'm sure that, for me, they'll get their noses in front here. They won 3-0 at the Bridge, didn't they? Reverse fixture. I don't think that there's anything frightening about Rennes. Not what we've seen so far. Camera lingers on Jeremy Doku, who trying to get into it, the Belgian. Anyway, a ball breaking down the left hand side, and here an opportunity to make some ground, but Truffert stopped in his tracks. He goes back, ball eventually with Nzonzi, and then Burijo. Truffert still out on that left hand side. Nzonzi picks it back up, lays it back to Da Silva in his own half, just about back into the centre circle. They go for Nzonzi. Chips a good ball out to left. Now a chance for Truffert to put a ball into the box. Untidy clearance by Kurt Zouma. Spanned that ball away, and that will be a corner kick for Rennes. And their best opportunity yet. Nzonzi's a big man. De Silva and Niamsi will come forward. Girassi 6'2". They're a fairly tall team, really, Rennes. So there could be a threat. But of course, Edouard Mendy yet to be tested. He's 6'6", so maybe he could come out and dominate. Burijo then with the corner, right-footed, in swinging, ball breaks through the box. Not great defending. Doku heads it back in, and then the ball just scraped forward by Lee Siliki, but he couldn't control it, and it's picked up by Mendy. As I said, in my opinion, Edouard Mendy could be the best goalkeeper in the Premier League right now, and Chelsea have unearthed a real gem. He might not have been in the past, but I think his form has just gone stratospheric, and I was so impressed with him on debut. He fills the goal pretty well at 6'6", but he's so agile, He's happy to save with his legs as he is to dive and tip it away, either right or left-footed. You know, I haven't seen an obvious weakness. We just saw him kick the ball out in this game and give the ball away. Maybe that's it. But Petr Cech was the man who had scouted him and said he was a good fit, and he said from Timo Werner there did well, the goalkeeper for Rennes. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? Just ball outside the area, but he committed to it, had to win it, and he did. Jurassi fights hard to give it back to a teammate, but the ball breaks to Zuma, and Rennes really can't keep hold of the ball. They're not quite good enough, and they've been. It's not that they've been over hustled and over harried. The fact is that their passing has just not been good enough, really. You know, their plans or ideas as Doku picks it up, running into the middle of the park and hounded by Mount. That's a good out ball for Amari Traore. Tammy Abraham keeps him honest, and the ball keeps going backwards all the way back to Gomis, who then kicks the ball out left-footed. Got a bit. He goes straight back to Thiago to put on. Not bad that from Burichot. So Rennes 0, Chelsea 0, and a reasonable start so far for Frank Lampard's side, who really would like to settle this affair. You know, then the final game of the group can be a walk in the park, and they can rest the key cogs, can't they? You know, Lampard talked about the fixture schedule coming up, and it's always nuts around Christmas, isn't it? Got games in quick succession then. But you know what? I think all the managers could moan about that, and they normally do, don't they? But I think, for me, Frank Lampard's got the nap hand this year. I think with the players at the minute that are at his disposal, I think he's got the strongest squad. Maybe Liverpool might do when they had everybody fit. But for me, it's between the two clubs. And that's why I fancy Chelsea can really mount a title challenge, and also go well in the competitions on all fronts. There's Mount then, a clever little flick, ball back on the inside. Kovacic first touch lets him down, and Zonzi picks it up. Then Chilwell does well to hold on to the ball. He'd been hounded by Doku, and he's fouled him from behind. Just doing too much there. Anyway, ball back with Zuma. And then out to the right-hand side, Hudson-Odoi, who, well, I thought he was a revelation first time I saw him, but he sort of quickly backed away from that form I first saw him in for Chelsea, and you just thought, all right, well, we know what you can do, and then it's about consistency and ability to do that time and time again. I think he may have had injury problems, a little setbacks, but he's just got to reset and go again. You know, the players who aren't playing today, you know, Kante, you know, he could win a third Premier League medal. He's a class act. Been impressed by Ziyech. Reece James has done well, hasn't he, since he's come in, and it means that for the first time Azpilicueta is possibly not the best right back, or not the best suited to driving the team forward from right back, should I say. He's probably a better defender. Sevilla have gone a goal up. Rakitic, still a class act, isn't he? And Seville, who won Europa League last season. What a team they are. What a standing dish in Europe. You know, nobody wants to go play at Seville, particularly later on in the year, in 35 to 40 degrees of heat in southern Spain. But they've always had some pretty good players there. It's beginning to build that up again at Seville, and yeah, they've done well, particularly Europa League, haven't they? but that takes some winning, doesn't it? That's a slog. Anyway, 21 minutes in, and so far Edouard Mendy has had nothing to do in the Chelsea goals. One corner kick, that's all really, with the ball bounced through the box. But at the minute, I think it's more down to the fact that Rennes' passing has been sloppy. You know, they look a little bit disjointed. And as we keep mentioning, sorry Timo, but your awful miss should have been scored, and that would have, I think, done justice to this opening of the game, as the ball won by Mason Mount off the Belgian Doku. A great ball to Hudson-Odoi, driving forward into the box. He shoots, he scores! Callum Hudson-Odoi. Ah, well, Timo Werner will be pleased. I won't keep mentioning his name, but that was great. Brilliant stuff in the midfield. I think it was Mason Mount winning these 50-50, and he just got the ball off Doku. But better than that, defence splitting ball, and there Hudson-Odoi running into the box, and there you go. First goal for Chelsea. That'll not necessarily settle the nerves, but I think they'll be pleased about that. Tiny finish from Hudson-Odoi, and I'm really pleased for him. And like I said, I think a lot of it's to do with confidence. He can re-find that zest and zeal that they hit the scene with, and all that because Mason Mount just doesn't want to give up. He works hard for the team in that midfield area, and he should take a bow for that goal, and then a perfect pass. So that's a major assist for Mason Mount. Chelsea have taken the lead at Roazhon Park. It's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team, and it was brilliant work though from Mason Mount, who went deep in to his own half to take the ball away from Jeremy Doku. He went a few paces and then pinged a beautiful 35-yard pass right into the path of Callum Hudson-Odoi, then bearing down on goal. Alfred Gomis came out. Hudson-Odoi, right-footed, slipped the ball past him to make it 1-0 to the Blues. So, beautiful goal that. And Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. And Chelsea need to buy a bit of time, don't they? They can do that by securing their passage out of the group right now. And that means that, they put on the calendar a dead rubber that they can play whichever team they wish, and that will give a huge opportunity for Frank Lampard to rest players and to play whichever team he seems or deems fit, but more importantly give some of his beleaguered team a little bit of a break. There were 7 points before kick-off, 2 victories and a draw, Chelsea, and of course Rennes were on just 1 point, as were Krasnodar, I think. So Seville and Chelsea just getting the job done, and for them both then allowing just a dead rubber at the back end of the group. Good news for both the two teams. But there we go. Great goal that from Hudson-Odoi. And Chelsea now just playing a little bit keep ball. Clearly Rennes trying to get into it. They're showing a little bit of attitude in that, but again the pass is not good enough for them. Tammy Abraham gets the ball out of his feet, finds Chilwell. Werner runs away, but it's picked up by Traore, who does well. Sweeps a crossfield ball that puts Truffert under a little bit of pressure, and then the ball is lost by Lee Siliki, and it wasn't too clever from him. 60% possession for Chelsea, who've completed almost twice, or more than twice as many passes as the opposition. So the better team in all manner of ways, but most importantly they proved that on the scoreboard. as we said elsewhere. Krasnodar 0, Sevilla 0, with Rakitic scoring for the La Liga outfit. Tonight, Dortmund take on Bruges, Kiev play Barcelona, Juve take on Ferencváros, Lazio take on Zenit, Man United Başakşehir, and PSG take on RB Leipzig. And subs warming up for Chelsea. Kante and Giroud in and amongst it. There's a long ball into the box there, and Tammy Abraham sticking out a long leg, just couldn't bring that in. Not particularly pleased with himself there. So ball's back at the feet of Gomes. Clears his lines. The ball comes off the head of Thiago Silva. But in the end, Girassi able to lay it back. Ball goes out left. Good ball to Truffert. Running into a bit of space. Held up by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Lee Silikik takes it on his inside. Lays it back to Nzonzi. Thinks about the strike. And well, the ball goes a little bit further to Doku. And then out to Traore, right hand side. He scampers on his inside. Ball picked up by the 9, Serhou Girassi. And they back to Boris Jean. And then to Camavinga. And again, Truffert trying to make up ground. The attempted cross blocked by Hudson-Odoi. I think that will be a corner to Rennes. Rennes 0, Chelsea 1 if you're just joining us. Timo Werner missed one, but Hudson-Odoi did not. Had a bit more to do with his chance as well. Carried the ball. Got the right side of Truffert. When the keeper come out, just drilled it to right-footed on the inside of him at his near post. All this after Werner had missed from 4 yards. Corner kick though for Stade Rennais. That's Belqueta marking De Silva, who looks a little bit taller than him. Anyway, ball into the box, up go the heads. Tammy Abraham heads that one away. That will be a throw-in. So some good defending by him. So yeah, been quite a good game so far. Good tempo to get to grips with it. I think Pulisic will be back at the weekend as well. I'd expect Ziyech to start. I've been impressed with him. You know, he can put Giroud in at the weekend if he wants. Can play Timo Werner. He seems as fit as anything, Werner. Like I said, for me the jury's still out. You know, what works necessarily in the Bundesliga may not work in the Premier League. You know, if you're one of the big guns, as Timo Werner picks it up here, finds Chilwell, cross comes in blocked away, and then great save there. Mason Mount thought he's stabbing in, but that's a good save. If that ball hadn't gone out, what a brilliant save that was by Gomes. I think the ball had gone out, but Gomes saved anyway. They have got VAR tonight, and they've got a corner kick now, Chelsea, and I don't necessarily think it'll make much difference, but Paul van Boekel is the VAR referee tonight. As the ball goes short, Callum Hudson-Odoi then for the corner. Jorginho, ball out of his feet. And then a strike from Kovacic, but not necessarily a good one. He's under no great pressure there, and in the end he scoops underneath the ball. Taking another look at the cutback and that save. Great save from Gomes. I think the ball had gone out, but Mason Mount able to laugh about that anyway. As we see a header from Girassi, and then the ball picked up by Jorginho in the middle. You know, they're struggling to string 2 or 3 passes together, the French team. Just to say that miscontrol by Chilwell. Need to do just a little bit better than that. Rennes 0, Chelsea 1 in this Group E encounter. And yeah, Chelsea making comfortable progress in the group, and under Frank Lampard Shame that perhaps Thiago Silva wasn't 10 years younger, but I think can still do an amazing job at many different levels, and when you're going on all sorts of fronts, I think that calming influence at the back, the huge wealth of experience. And maybe the thought is, when you have a craftsman like that, I feel like the Italians do that. You look after them, you nurture a centre back like that, and if you have the right sort of player, you can keep him going until he's 40 years of age. I think longevity for centre backs a little bit longer than those other outfield players. The cross comes in and then the ball's spooned up in the air. I think Borisov with the shot blocked away, and then the ball broke through. So the block came in from Zuma, and then the shot from Lee Silicki was over. That's better, and that's about as good as it's got really for Rennes. That could have hit the back of the net all right. Good block that by Zuma, and then poor finishing really by Lee Silicki. But yeah, that's as good as it's got. Still though, when all's said and done, Edouard Mendy has yet to make a save. So that's how well they've played. High boot there from Amari Traore, and he's caught Tammy Abraham. His head was stooping down, the boot came up, and the two having a discussion about it, and I don't think so. The referee having a word with him, and he's saying, look, it's over shoulder high, let's take another look at it. Yeah, it's dangerous play that, and he should be yellow carded for that. Right, he's a millimetre away from catching his man in the eye. If he does that, then we're not saying, oh, naughty boy, we're saying stupid, reckless, dangerous. What is he, a millimetre away from that? So it's still stupid, reckless and dangerous, isn't it? And still deserved a yellow card, which he didn't get. Kovacic with a good challenge in the middle of the park, and he's done well. Flicks the ball off Borisov, who can't believe that, but I can. Really good stuff from Mateo Kovacic. Really clever. So, it remains at 1-0. Frank Lampard remonstrating there, but I don't know, maybe that was from the earlier challenge, and perhaps he was wondering why Traore didn't get a yellow card as well. Anyhow, Girassi holds the ball up well there. Zuma bundles him to the ground, an obvious free kick. At Roazhon Park, it's still Chelsea are the better team, but with just the best chance from Stade Rennes. The ball came across from the right hand side from Traore. Borisov has a shot that's blocked away by Kurt Zuma. The rebound broke back out to Lee Silicki. He's finished, left a lot to be desired, and eventually left-footed was stumped up into the stand. Chelsea looking good, but probably could do with another goal. Yeah, they just need to take the sting out of this a little bit more even. I think Stade Rennes would be killed off at 2-0. I mean, easy for me to say that though, isn't it? No, just go get another goal, lads. But I feel at the moment Chelsea don't have to work hard for this. Rennes are not playing well enough, not passing the ball well enough to threaten them, and so it does look like a mismatch. It does, but here they come down the right hand side. A chance for Traore, held up by Thiago, who blocks the first attempted cross, and now Traore puts the ball to the edge of the area. Borisov looking for the give and go. Kovacic tries to get the foot in. Zuma is able to clear his lines, and that he does well. So trying to be intricate, but enough Chelsea bodies at the back. You see a shot from range, desperate, and not necessarily a good one there. That was Camavinga, sliced it, and it wasn't particularly good. Anyway, so far they haven't showed too much of Rennes. I think they don't look necessarily like a good team, or not a team by anybody's reckoning that should trouble this Chelsea side. And I think looking at the stats, 6 attempts, Chelsea 2 on target to the 3 and none on target, tells its own story really. You know, here's Girassi, holds the ball up, Thiago fouls him at the halfway line. I think he's just thought, right, I'll try and let him turn there. You know, there's a big space in behind me, I can't afford to do that, and therefore we'll take the free kick. And he's that high up the field, almost a halfway line. Referee's not going to yellow card me for that. So he played the percentages there, and I think he was right to do so. As Truffert makes ground, then he's forced backwards, and then the ball fired out to right hand side. Sure, he does well to take it on his chest, steps on his inner, and then tries to go back out right. Too many players taking too many touches for Stade Rennais. Camavinga now 3-4 touches to Borijov, 3-4 touches, and then his pass is intercepted by Callum Hudson-Odoi. The ball then back, Jorginho, and Kovacic takes it, tries to get it forward. Tammy Abraham gives the ball away. Then it's stabbed forward by the 4, Niamsi, and Zonzi picks it up then. Lee Siliki turns the ball straight out. It's not good enough from him. He needs to work an awful lot harder. I think if I'm Julian Stefan, I'd be looking at the substitutes and trying to work out what changes I could make at the break. I don't think their effort has been quite good enough, really. Anyway, on their bench, 1 or 2 players, Sopi and Tate Del Castillo, all played at the weekend. They may be players who are on his mind to bring back in. Subs tonight for Chelsea are Aretha Balaga, Rudiger, Alonso, Christensen, Kante, Caballero, Tomori, Giroud, Ziyech, James, Havertz, and Emerson. Havertz back in the fold after a touch of self-isolation after COVID. And let's hope that he's not affected too much, as we see a shot on target. Girassi, a nice turn and shot. An easy save though for Mendy. Yeah, Zuma got too close to him there. Girassi's strong and got his shot away. It's twice he's turned him now. Excuse me. Ball back in the hands of Mendy. So it's the first save he's had to make. Rennes 0, Chelsea 1, as Mendy takes the goal kick. So they're looking on in the stands. Mostly the rest of the playing staff. Absolutely no fans at Rosemont Park. As Chilwell gives the ball away to Girassi, into the box he goes, he cuts back, it's not good enough. Not good enough to find Borijov, and Thiago plays it back. Chilwell, a terrible mistake from him. Well, he played an all-look ball. Thiago Silva had moved out of position, and he apologises. But really, it's just a shame Girassi didn't want to take it on there, and in the end he's looking to pick a pass, but the ball's out for a corner. So a mistake by Chelsea. It all looked too comfortable for them, but corner kick from Borijov, headed away by Zuma. Ball breaks in. Camavinga, and then now the cutback comes in, but Traore's ball has gone out for a corner kick, blocked away by a white-shirted defender in Jorginho. And another corner kick, another bit of pressure. I did say they're quite a tall team, but Chelsea are small, are they? Tammy Abraham. And of course the keeper himself, Mendy. Right then, Bourigeaud, who takes them from both sides. The outswinger from the right. Header comes in, a save by the keeper. Decent header then. And that was De Silva at the far post. So, just a couple of chances. It was a good save, though, by Edouard Mendy. And that might have been as good as it's got, really, but yeah, all of a sudden we're just getting a few chances for the home side, showing a bit of spirit before the break. As the ball cleared out by Chilwell under pressure. And he's saying you don't want two running at him. I think Timo Werner has all of a sudden gone a little bit quiet. Anyway, looking at Mendy's position there, he didn't oversell himself to that near post. That stood him in good stead. But it's another corner kick for Bourigeaud, and the last one was headed goalwards by Damien De Silva. Bourigeaud then with the corner, flicked on at the far post, picked up again, chipped to the back post, but too much on that. And the ball had gone out, despite Bourigeaud trying to keep it in. So a little bit of joy for Julian Stéphan's side, as Chelsea have kind of taken the foot off the gas. So Chelsea with a dominant force, missed an obvious chance and scored one, and I've just sat back after. Probably only need a point from this, don't they, to make their passage in the group safe. But anyway, I'm sure they'd like to win the game as well. You know, success breeds success and builds its own momentum. You want to keep clean sheets as well. You know, anyway, as Paqueta tries to win the ball, Kovacic helping him out. That ball won. Now Girassi looking for Lee Silic. He can't find him. Jorginho backs off a challenge in the middle of the park, and the ball might just break for Traore. No, it won't. And he just won't quite get there. So, only a couple of minutes left to the break now. Chelsea have been a better team, but there have been one or two scares at this back end. Three real opportunities for them. Girassi turned Zuma, drilled the right foot shot in. Then we saw Chilwell give the ball away. Girassi not able to take advantage of it, bearing down on goal, and tried to pass that Thiago Silva blocked. And then De Silva header, well saved by Mendy after a corner. But when it was 0-0, I think that's when, you know, or when the scores are level, that's when you see the better team, you know, going about their business. If anything, the disappointment is that they've allowed Stade Rennes back into the game when really they know that they're better than the opposition. I guess that Rennes are passing the ball a little bit better. Here's De Silva. Steps inside one challenge, keeps on going. Nobody goes to lay a glove on him. And then it's a foul at the edge of the area by Thiago Silva. And Girassi brought down. And De Silva's saying, where's the card? He's showing his imaginary card there. I agree. Where is the card? Thiago Silva, does he catch him? Well, if he does, you know, I think it ought to be a yellow card. I didn't see an awful lot of contact there. And we're in the final minute of the first half. This would be a little slap in the face for Chelsea if this goes in. So far, so good. But a lot of work now, perhaps, for Edouard Mendy. Well, Bourigeaud has kicked every set piece, so I guess it would be him. And it'll probably be the last, or just about the last action, before the referee blows his whistle. Anyway, what can Borisho do? It's a pretty tall wall. They've just inched in front. Oh, there's a Rennes player in the wall. You can't have that nowadays, can you? Referee tells him. Borisho! Oh, just for a second I thought that was going in. Must have hit something on the shoulder in the wall. Let's take another look. No, Azpilicueta's head. Looked good off his boot, that. But a decent header. Now he's got a corner kick. He hasn't got all the time in the world to take it. You're going to have to take it quickly. Referee blows his whistle. We'll just about get this in before the corner. Before the referee blows his whistle. Headed away. Referee blows his whistle then. And so it is. 1-0 to Chelsea, who had a gilt-edged opportunity early doors. Hudson-Odoi's cross was somehow hit over by Timo Werner from 4 yards. Then we saw Mason Mount winning the ball back off for Doku, with a lovely defence splitting ball into the path of Callum Hudson-Odoi for the goal. Rennes fought back and have had 3 decent chances, but it is Chelsea who have the slender advantage at the break. It rolls on Park. It is Stade Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea took the early running up with a gilt-edged opportunity for Timo Werner, spurned from about 4 yards after a Hudson-Odoi cross. Mason Mount then turned provider for Hudson-Odoi, who bore down into the area right-footed, drilled the ball into the back of the net. Rennes have come back into the game though. Girassi's turn and shot saved by Mendy. We saw Chilwell give the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then a De Silva header was saved as well by Mendy. It's half time at Roseland Park. It's Stade Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. Frank Lampard's team cut out the early running. An early miss from Timo Werner was from about 4 yards from a Hudson-Odoi cross. But eventually Mason Mount found Callum Hudson-Odoi, and bearing down on goal, his right foot shot was drilled past Gomes. A shot from Girassi, and then Chilwell giving the ball away to the same player could have resulted in goals. Mendy saved one of them, didn't need to save the other, and then De Silva planted a header in, saved by Mendy at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi's shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi's shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi's shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi's shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half.
Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roseland Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot save. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roazhon Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roazhon Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roazhon Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roazhon Park, it's Stade Rennais. Second minute, Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the Hudson-Odoi for the character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roazhon Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roazhon Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roazhon Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roazhon Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post. At Roazhon Park, it's Stade Rennais 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea had been the better team. Could have scored as early as the second minute. Hudson-Odoi put a perfect cross in for Timo Werner, who missed from close range. Eventually, we found Mason Mount winning the ball in midfield with a lovely 35-yard ping ball to Callum Hudson-Odoi for the only goal of the half. Rennes showed a bit of character to hit back. Girassi shot saved. Chilwell gave the ball away to Girassi, couldn't take advantage. And then Mendy saved from De Silva, a header at the far post.
Right, we're back. It's the second half. And there is a way back for Rennes in this, but I also feel that Chelsea are taking their foot off the gas, and that's understandable too. They're a goal up, another little bit of quality from Chelsea, and they possibly take the game away. And I know that Frank Lampard would be keen for that. Last thing he wants now is for Rennes to get a quick equaliser, then nick the game away, and then it's not sorted, is it not settled? Then that, you don't want that final group game, or you've got to do this or that, something that you can't shy away from. Really, he would hope that they'll be through already. And that's what's at stake, really. Buying yourself a little bit of time in a busy season, and it makes it a lot easier then. And then you can manage the troops a little bit better. And like we said, always for the Premier League clubs, a congested fixture list. And then it's not only that, but it's the games of the intensity, isn't it? There are some great clubs in Ligue 1, but equally there's a lot that's, I don't know, probably a championship standard. But in the Premier League, you're offered a different challenge every week. Sheffield United find themselves bottom at the minute, but they're no easy beats, are they? Anyway, I think teams have just worked them out a little bit. Here come Chelsea now, driving forward at the edge of the area. Hudson-Odoi into the box, just waits. Ball laid back to the far post. Timo Werner with the header, and that's made it 2. I know the flag had gone up there. Doesn't look like they're celebrating a goal. So let's take a look at that again. Hudson-Odoi lays the ball back. Timo Werner just offside. Tammy Abraham stood in front of him at that point. So goal ruled out. It was a good header, but maybe the goalkeeper had spotted the referee on the far side, the assistant referee, with the flag up in the air. But like we said, I think they grab a second goal, and that puts paid to Stade Rennes. So it is Rennes on the ball with Niamzi, and for Truffert, but the attempted elbow blocked by Hudson-Odoi. The white shirts have it back. Chelsea play pretty well so far tonight, and they've got a lot of leaders in that team, haven't they? There, the likes of Aspilicueta and Thiago Silva. I think settle it all down. Jorginho has plenty of experience. So I always thought that Chelsea, particularly with Lampard and Terry, used to work out what they needed to do as games progressed. They worked it out and got better. Siliki with the ball in, not a good one. And Zonzi heads it, and Kurt Zouma is able to block that one away. Niamzi gets the ball away, but then Werner picks it up. He has too much of himself there. Da Silva had a big start on him, and Timo Werner tried to just burst past him there. Never going to do that. So, for Timo Werner, it was a good header that hit the back of the net there, but I don't know, a mixed bag again from him today. So far, one or two players haven't really settled down, have they? I've seen bits of Pulisic which make me think that he is going to be great. I've said already, I think it's a possibility he could end up being one of the best passers of the ball. Very much like Beckham, I think. He gives players the ball exactly where they want it, and it's one of his many virtues, that. But there's that. Kai Havertz, I saw him before he was signed and thought, he's a good player, he'll be a good addition. Timo Werner, for me, jury's out, but like we said in the first half, possibility that he could come on strong. So many good players, aren't there? And then you get the young guns like Mason Mount, Callum Hudson-Odoi. We haven't seen much of Tomori. Maybe he won't, crack on. But there are good combinations, and I think that Lampard has so many irons in the fire, really. Tammy Abraham now just looking to turn his man. He did well there. Niamzi hauled him back, so that's a fairly obvious free kick, I would have said. Just manhandled him. The whole of the Chelsea bench were up there. Remains Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. 51 minutes played, and for Chelsea, well, they've been the better team. Rennes had a good go at them second half of the first half. Here a ball drilled almost into feet of Timo Werner. Not bad from Chilwell, but in fact it was Mason Mount. He couldn't quite make that ball stick. Counter-attack on now. Lee Siliki has got Truffert ahead of him, but combination of bad balls for Rennes, and it's again the ball back with Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, the long and short of tonight for me is that Chelsea passed the ball a lot better. Hudson-Odoi should have been able to take that ball in. Again, he found a gap. Ball from Chilwell looked good. As now Nzonzi on the ball to Lee Siliki. Back to Truffert. And then Niamzi. And now the skipper, Damien De Silva. And he just gets it out of his feet for Traore. Still in his own half. Being chased there by Mount. Chelsea just roll in waves, don't they? Just not allowing anybody really to settle on the ball. Niamzi and finds Truffert. Lee Siliki comes into his own half. He's forced back to Niamzi. I think it's smart from Chelsea. They don't really letting them turn. So after a while, if you're in that red strip, you're back to goal. You just think, I'm probably going to get booted from behind if I try and control this. And I'm almost certainly not able to turn. The only player I could say who that doesn't fit with is Girassi, who is really strong, and he's turned around Kurt Zouma a couple of times. Ball from Lee Siliki out to the right hand side. It's a good one, and Traore now puts a ball into the box, easily dealt with by Thiago. Ball headed back where it came there. That was by Camavinga. But Truffert's got to go and mop up. Hudson-Odoi now puts Niamzi under pressure. He did well though, heads it away. Truffert mops up. And then the ball with De Silva. Camavinga. On left foot he is. And he finds Bourigeaud. Truffert, who then flicks it on his inside to Nzonzi. And ball laid back by Lee Siliki. And Girassi herring forward, but he was well marked, so the ball didn't go to him. Again, the ball with Traore down the right hand side, and this time it's held up by Doku. And a chance for a shot at that near post, but in the end, Mendy's diving for that, but I don't think he's under that much pressure. In fact, it should be a corner kick there. It was Traore's shot, and Thiago blocked it before he got to him. Thiago hands behind his back and blocked it with his chest. So it wasn't a bad shot, that actually, from Traore. A good block, so the keeper didn't need to save it. He probably would have done anyway. And now the corner kick by Bourigeaud, headed away by Thiago. Back to the corner kick, caretaker shins it up in the air, and then it comes off the toe end of Tammy Abraham, out for another corner. So decent defending there by Chelsea as a team. Tammy Abraham back to help his teammates out. The corner kick though for Bourigeaud, who has a pretty good delivery, and the corner from the left hand side will see he's a right-footed in-swinger. So a more dangerous weapon, I would have said, than when he takes them from the other side. And he scrapes out one, headed away at the near post. Back out for a corner, came off Chilwell's head, but he couldn't head it straight out. And it's another corner. So Bourigeaud again. Poor corner, that last one. Can he get the delivery right? This time to the far post. Headed away. Might break for Traore. Chance for a strike again. Comes off the back of Abraham. And then just tipped forward by Girassi, who probably should have left that one alone. Well, that hurt Tammy Abraham. And the shot comes in. It's off the shoulder and onto the ear of Tammy Abraham. Shoulder took most of the brunt there. I think he'd be alright as he ranges forward. Rosemont Park, it's still Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. We've seen fired up Stade Rennais come out and get a goal back. We saw the fullback Amari Traore with a decent shot blocked away by Thiago. Probably it was going to be saved by Edouard Mendy. Chelsea there with the ball. But Timo Werner was offside, although he planted a good header in. He sure did, but he just crept there, and so the goal was ruled out, and rightly so. But I think they need a second just to make the game safe. I don't suppose that's going to be handed on a plate, is it? And Rennes have done a little bit better. Just to say that, they give the ball away. And now it's Hudson-Odoi, but he's forced backwards. And then Jorginho, not a good ball for Kovacic. Jorginho, not really a good game for my money. Hudson-Odoi, ball into the box for Werner. Fires the ball across, picked up by Camavinga though, and eventually cleared by Borisov. Nobody there. And Chelsea will have it back then. So, I mean, they're fairly comfortable at the minute, Chelsea, despite an upturn in Rennes' fortunes. They're getting on the ball a little bit more. Julian Stefan's side, but I still don't think they're getting enough efforts on target, and still Edouard Mendy has had an awful lot to do. He picks the ball up, finds Kurt Zouma. Zouma holds off the challenge of Girassi and then goes back to Mendy. Zouma's next touch lets him down. This time he's held up by Lee Siliki. Zouma making life hard for himself there, really, with a poor first touch. But there we go. Need to do a little bit better, don't you? I like Kurt Zouma. I think he's an honest sort of player. Maybe there are others that are slightly better in there, but it's much of a muchness, really. You could argue the likes of Christensen are better. Maybe not. Ball breaks the edge of the area. Here's Traore again, gets it out with his feet, finds Doku. Doku into the box now. He tries to get to the byline, but Chilwell gets the foot in there. Ball breaks back to Traore, held up by Mount, who can't get a foot in. Werner gets an interception, but the ball breaks back to Doku, who shapes the cross, and it's a poor ball. Well read that actually by Jorginho. Little step over from him, and he finds Chilwell. And just struggling to make ground. Rennes. Krasnodar have hit back. Wanderson makes it 1 apiece against Sevilla. As we saw Werner caught late there. And that brilliant challenge from Chilwell in the box. Had to get that right when you're in the box like that, under pressure. So, the only 2 games underway in the Champions League tonight. Krasnodar 1, Sevilla 1, Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. And Chelsea closing in on the hour mark. They'll be feeling comfortable, but it's just a 1-goal game. Chilwell then, early ball in, headed away by De Silva, and then further away by Lee Siliki, picked up by Chelsea though, and they're continuing to dominate this affair. There's no doubt that they've been the better team tonight to Chelsea. Incidentally, Man United tonight, let's quickly run through their team. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Tejas, Van der Beek, Fred, Martial, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford and Cavani. Excuse me. Well, it sounds like a good team, doesn't it? So the assumption would be that they can overcome the Turkish opponents. Başakşehir. And I don't think the Turkish teams have necessarily travelled that well in European football. Anyway, second half, Rennes have had slightly more of the ball than Chelsea, 52%, but Chelsea looking to make amends now. Chilwell on the ball, and then Mount. Good opportunity this for Chelsea, and Timo Werner, poor ball from him. And then Chilwell marking up Mari Traore. Ball breaks back, Jorginho. Chelsea then happy in possession. Thiago over the halfway line. Fairly central Chelsea. Spool the ball outright. Aspilicueta finds Hudson-Odoi. Drives the ball back on his inside for Werner. Werner again near the edge of the box, looking for a given goal. But in the end the ball wasn't held up. Niamsi tries to come forward, but Thiago reads that one, chips it away. I think the flag might have gone up for Chelsea had the ball ever reached Mason Mount. But now the long clearance misses the head of Girassi. Serhou Girassi, I think, looks a good striker for my money. And there'd be one or two, I think, in the Premier League taking a look at him. The ball reaches Chilwell, puts the cross in. Niamsi has to deal with that one. Under pressure from Hudson-Odoi, it's a corner. So Jorginho, Niamsi. Safety first option there from him. And now a corner kick. About 62 minutes in. Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea in no hurry to take the corner. And why should they be? They would like to top the group, I'm pretty sure. And victory tonight would more or less ensure that, provided it remains a draw in the other game. The first half, the Rennes-Chelsea game kicked off 3 minutes before, but they seem to have caught up somehow. Krasnodar, Sevilla, and they've both played as many minutes now. Best game tonight, probably PSG against RB Leipzig, as we're going to see a change. And well, Del Castillo is going to come on for Lee Siliki. And he played at the weekend. Romain Del Castillo in what was disappointing defeat at the hands of Bordeaux. As Tammy Abraham into the box he goes. VAR might give us a penalty or not here. They'll have to take a look. He turns his man. He's been held back by Jorginho Niamsi. And for me, he's just done too much, Jorginho Niamsi. It's not been given. Has VAR even looked at it? No. Decision seems to have gone the other way. Well, I've got to tell you, I think that's a bizarre decision, really. I don't know. Was I missing something there? An offside or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. That's because there was a clear and obvious foul. Anyway, Bourigeaud tries to work his way into the box, but he has the ball worked off him by Aspilicueta. Clearance from Mendy is not a good one, and the attack is on for the red and blacks again. Who, well, they kept on going, as you would do. Why, you wouldn't be stopping, would you? Anyway, they've just made a change, haven't they, with Romain de Castillo coming on. And despite his name, he's a Frenchman. Played for their under-21s, 10 games for them. And he started off at Lyon, his senior career. And just got 2 games for Lyon before going on loan, and then joining Stade Rennes. I think it was a €2 million transfer fee for him. Anyway, ball at the feet of Romain de Castillo. And then with Niamsi. A lot of French talent in this team. A couple of Senegalese. And you always get a Brazilian somewhere, don't you? Dalbert, he's a loanee from Inter Milan. Anyway, they've got the ball at the back at the minute. They're with Nzonzi, but they're not going anywhere. Go all the way back to Gomes. Now takes a heavy touch, chips the ball up in the air, headed back away by Zuma. Got there ahead of Girassi. The ball breaks back to the home team, Les Rennes, as the ball goes out right then. And well, maybe a chance for a strike here, but the ball on the inside, Bourigeaud to Romain Del Castillo, but he's attempting through ball looking for Girassi. He's blocked away by Zuma. And there the nickname, apart from Les Rennes, is Les Rouges et Noirs, which makes them the Red and Blacks, doesn't it? So, red shirts, black shorts, and a miscontrol here from Del Castillo. Poor from him. Took his eye off the ball, and it just bounced underneath his boot. Batsy, Kante and Giroud come on for Chelsea. Not bad subs to bring on, eh? Anyway, Azpilicueta with the throw. And so takes his time. They haven't really got many targets. Looks for a longer throw. He's headed away by Bourigeaud, away from Tammy Abraham. Ball then back with Da Silva, back to his keeper. Gomes comes out. Way out of his box now as he just finds his number 4, Jorginho Niamsi. Camavinga comes deeper for it. It's a good ball from him. Now maybe a chance out right. Mari Traore has been a constant outlet for them. I thought he's played quite well, the right back. And Zonzi now challenged by Jorginho, but in the end he kind of played the ball a little bit behind Doku. So Timo Werner might be the man's coming off. The camera's just lingered on him. Kante coming on as well. Might be for Jorginho. Anyway, it's 19 for 7. So that's Mason Mount's number. But he gets a super assist today. And like we said, Giroud is the other sub about to come on. And we think that might be Timo Werner. It equally could be Tammy Abraham, couldn't it? So we didn't see that second board go up, but it is Tammy Abraham, and that means he doesn't have to mess about too much with his shape, like for like, really. Although I mean, Kante can get forward. Mason Mount played box to box today and did it well. And we've already discussed Olivier Giroud and what he brings to the party. And basically that's goals, isn't it? And he's pretty good defensively as well. Strong header of the ball. Giroud goes down. A bit of a welcome to the game there. And De Silva involved in that tangle. One backing in, one going over the top. And a great big tangle. 2 old soldiers there having a go at each other. And Giroud still laughing at that. Welcome to the game. I thought Tammy Abraham played alright tonight. I think he's still got bags of potential, hasn't he? Who's going to go on and take the mantle of the new Drogba, or even the new Diego Costa? I thought Costa was ace when he was at Chelsea, and before that, as one of Simeone's trusted players at Atletico. And when I first saw him, I thought he was a joke player, to be honest. And he was playing alongside Radamel Falcao, who caught the eye, obviously, before he got injured. And Costa was a proper pantomime villain when I first watched him. And then somebody just turned the tap on, and all of a sudden, everything that he did turned to goal. All those barnstorming runs, and he's still a pantomime villain, but this time he was scoring bags of goals, wasn't he? And he could score from the halfway line as well as get the easy goals. And he tried everything in the book, didn't he? Not everything, within the laws, but I for one love watching Costa. Anyway, I think he's back at Atletico, isn't he? Seems to be constantly hamstrung. Doing the back end of his career there. Here is Hudson-Odoi trying to get the right side. That's a good challenge for my money from Truffert. Just got goal side of Hudson-Odoi, not easy to do. And then he won his little 50-50 duel. Ball stabbed forward. A good foot in there by Azpilicueta. Hudson-Odoi lays the ball back to Kurt Zouma. He's telling everybody to settle down, calm down. Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. As Kante finds Azpilicueta. And I don't know, a little bit of the life seems to have gone out of A, the game, and B, Stade Rennais. Just maybe a lack of belief when you're on when you've been on a bad shot of form. It tends to happen, that, doesn't it? They've been losing more than they've won more recently. Beaten comfortably by PSG 3-0. I mentioned that they were beaten by Bordeaux at the weekend on their own home soil. Chelsea beat them at the Bridge 3-0. Their last victory was against Brest, who they would have been expecting to beat, but they only beat them 2-1. And of course Sevilla beat them as well. And all that, losing games not good for your soul, is it? Ball drilled forward here, but in the end it won't reach their number 9. Again, Zouma marks him as the rebound nearly drops to Girassi, who does look a good player, but I think he's also been well marshalled tonight by a combination of Zouma and Thiago. Shot from Camavinga from deep as Giroud controls it, brings it down. There he says. Well, and the referee, I'd let play go on or something, or Chelsea wasted the ball. Giroud's still down holding his ankle. And he's picked himself up now. Here is Girassi, and he's holding his man off there. Referee didn't want to blow his whistle today, Kuipers, and I thought that was a foul on Girassi. But anyway, ball contested in the middle of the park. Challenge coming thick and fast, but the ball's going to break for Del Castillo now. Puts the cut back in. Maybe a chance. Girassi outstepping his right boot into the side netting. Now, was that a save by Mendy? Did he need to save it? Not sure. Taking a look. Maybe he did, And again, I've given this guy big licks tonight, but I think he looks good. Serhou Girassi, I think he's about 24, but he looks a proper good player. And maybe that did need saving by Mendy. Anyway, corner kick. And Borgerot takes it. There's a header, a save by Mendy. Has it got through him? Well, he picks up the ball on the line. And that's a great save there from a Jazino Nyamsi header. So a couple of goals there. Let's take another look at it. Oh, it's a great header down. I mean, honestly. He saves it, and then ball breaks back out. He flicks it with the outstep of his boot back into his mitts. Brilliant from Mendy. It's a really good header, that, as well. From a corner, he's got up there. He's heading it down into the ground. Oh, dearie me. So, brilliant stuff there. Yeah. Well, I've been mentioning that for me, Edouard Mendy might be the best goalkeeper in the Premier League at the minute. I think so. Hudson-Odoi is going to go off now, and Ziyech is going to come on. So a chance to rest 1 or 2. And Hakim Ziyech, another great sub to bring on, the former Ajax man. And another good sub as well. Kovacic going off. Kai Havertz, who's another glutton for punishment, another hard worker. He comes on. At Roazhon Park, it's still Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. We've seen Edouard Mendy come to the fore. He's a brilliant goalkeeper, and he's had to be. He made a good save at the near post from Serhou Girassi. Clever flick from him. And then from the resulting corner, Jazina Niamsi comes to win the ball, heads it firmly down into the ground. Mendy makes a good save and then flicks it with his boot back into the path of his own hands for an even better save. So he's keeping Rennes at bay at the minute. Sure is. And yeah, I think his teammates will be pleased. They've traded up from Kepa. I thought he was having a bad run of form. He's not a bad goalkeeper, not by any manner of means, but for me, they've properly traded up. That's what you want to do. We've all played that Premier League manager game, haven't we? We all. You eventually end up with, half the German team, half the Spanish team, half the Brazilian first team in your side. It's not going to hurt you, is it? You want to get the best players you can. I don't think, like I said, there's a better goalkeeper than Edouard Mendy in the Premier League at present. And if there is, I'm trying to think who he is. I don't think De Geer's as good as he was. The English keeper's not up to much, is he? Pickford, if indeed he still is the England keeper. Alisson Becker doesn't have to do too much. Foul from Bourigeaud and Thiago Silva there. Yeah, so anyway, another change about to be made by Rennes. 77 minutes on the clock, and Chelsea doing all right. Just wishing their life away a little bit. I thought they got the goal a little bit early, really, and I mean that in the sense that it's just meant that they've downed tools a little bit early. A goal to the good. They probably only needed. They'd be, I wouldn't say happy with the draw, but a draw wouldn't hurt them that much. They're even before kick-off, they're almost virtually through, aren't they? But victories, like I say, don't hurt, do they? You get the taste from, and I think sometimes victory can become a hard habit to break. Get Liverpool at Anfield. They all sorts of squad players drafted in at the weekend, but still they look comfortable against Leicester, and it's because they've got that winning habit, haven't they? Anyway, Grenier about to come on for Rennes. And Camavinga going off for Clement Grenier. So, yeah, I think there's a lot to like about how Chelsea going about their business at the minute. No shortage of cash spent as well on putting together a seriously good team. Here's N'Golo Kante then. And he's looking for the number 22, Ziyech. And Kante picks up the ball. Ziyech then a good ball to Azpilicueta. And then the ball just flicked out by Del Castillo. So, ball into the box here. Maybe chance Ziyech can't just take that ball with him. After a lovely Giroud flick on. And in the end, again, Zuma doing well enough against Girassi to take the ball away from him. Yeah, Zuma played well tonight. One sort of clunky clearance, I think, but by and large been pretty good. As we're closing in on the final 10 minutes of regulation play, the early kick-offs in the Champions League, I think were quite good. As Giroud a little break into the box, but that's a poor ball from N'Golo Kante. And easily dealt with. They just watch that ball roll out. Will be a goal kick. So yeah, Chelsea just too strong for Rennes tonight. Looking at the Chelsea squad, just if you take a look at that, I don't think there's much weakness in there at all now. Out of almost a 30-man squad. Yeah, just you could name almost 3 good teams out of that. You really could, and there'll be 1 or 2 disappointed players missing out. As we said, Giroud needs more game time. He's going to keep a standing dish for the French national side. As the ball played left-hand side, and Kuipers, our referee, letting a lot go tonight. Anyway, the ball back on the inside, and Zonzi in midfield. He finds Truffert, ball out to Del Castillo. He's forced to thump it back. Like I said, for Giroud, playing for France, they haven't got too many target men as good as him, I don't think. But they've got lots of strikers, haven't they? Last time I saw them, they had a front three, including Griezmann, Martial, and Kingsley Coman. All that without Kylian Mbappe, and they played so well, that three. Absolutely frightening pace. But again, it's plan B, isn't it, Giroud? If they're all about the pace of Mbappe and those sorts of players, sometimes you get quick defenders, don't you? And it didn't necessarily work out. You've got to adopt a different strategy, and that's, I guess, where Giroud comes in. Anyway, I mean, if I'm Olivier Giroud, I'll probably, when I seen the start of the season and thinking I'm behind Timo Werner and Tammy Abraham, I might have agitated for a move. But anyway, it's what it is. He's still there. Frank Lampard's happy to have him there, and he's told him that as such. And it's interesting because it's a hectic workload, isn't it, for Chelsea? And the more successful they are in all the competitions, the more work that the players like Giroud can get. But this time he can't take the ball with him. Josino Niamsi takes it off him. Ball one in midfield. And maybe a chance here. Ziyech then bursts past the fullback Truffert. He's looking to cut in there, but Truffert helped out by Bourigeaud, just about have enough, and then the ball will be cleared away by Bourigeaud onto the chest of Azpilicueta, and then it's eventually out. I say chest, maybe he got caught somewhere else. He just goes down. Azpilicueta, he's going to be alright. Rennes 0, Chelsea 1. And it's still Krasnodar 1, Sevilla 1. Chelsea will top the group if scorelines remain the same in the Championship tonight. That some games are almost halfway through. Luton 0, Birmingham 1, QPR 1, Rotherham 0, Stoke 0, Norwich 2, Wickham 0, Huddersfield 0, Barnsley take on Brentford, Preston, Blackburn, Bournemouth, Forest later. Plenty of games going on. But here come Chelsea again with it. Chilwell, good ball inside. Timo Werner tries to flick it with his outstep to find Giroud. He can't. And now a break is on with Doku down the right hand side, and he carries the ball quite well. Finds the number 8 first touch for Grenier, and as ever Traore comes to overlap. Early ball in. Blocked by Thiago, headed away by Chilwell, picked up by Steven Nzonzi. He's had an interesting career, hasn't he, Steven Nzonzi? I think he's had some really good clubs. I think he's on loan from Roma at the minute, but we all remember him his time at Blackburn Rovers. He went to Stoke. He's been at Sevilla, 90 games for them, and I'm sure he's won European titles with them. As Thiago comes across, turns the ball out, then at Roma, Galatasaray on loan, before his loan move now with Rennes. And 20 caps for France. Anyway, corner kick for Rennes, about 5 minutes left. Girassi in there, we've seen that Niamsi get a header away. It was saved by Mendy. What can they do now? Oh, there's a header into the back of the net. They go, and it is Girassi, and he's been good all night. I thought he does look a cut above. They are celebrating. I don't think this goal's going to be chalked off, and they've kept on going. And I like this kid. I think he could have a future in the Premier League. If anybody takes a gamble. Found the gap, don't know who's marking him this time. He's in the gap between the two centre backs, and then the header straight above the head of Mendy. Forceful and from close range. good leap on him. 6'2". He might be a little bit taller than that. They're a big team. I'm not entirely surprised, and it doesn't surprise me that all 6'2" of Seru Yadali Jarasi got up there. And for me, he looks a good player. Just gone off now. That's his last effort, really. Yeah, I mean, brilliant for him. And Baye Niang comes on in his place. Off goes Doku too, and hugs all around, and good for him. But yeah, he if you're scouting this game from the Premier League, thinking who could we bring in? Well, I wouldn't put anybody off Girassi. He looks pretty good. I think Amari Traore, the right backs, looked all right. De Silva's been a good player. You can see that. Apart from that, I don't think you'd look really at anybody else. At Roazhon Park, Stade Rennais are back in it. So one apiece then, and it was Seru Girassi, the young striker. He's looked cut above the rest of their players tonight and kept on going. And what he did really well was find a gap between the two centre-backs, Thiago Silva and Kurt Zouma, from a corner kick, Rose Heist, all 6'2" of him, planting that ball above the head of Edouard Mendy for the equaliser. And we've seen a yellow card now. I think that's the first of the game. And that's for the new man, Grenier. And he just chopped down N'Golo Kante there unceremoniously. So, well, as we were really in the group, because I think that puts them on 8 points. Still 6 points ahead. There's 2 games to be played. Jan Gaboho has come on for Doku. Ball into the box. There's a save by the keeper. That was Chilwell at the far post. Not much to write home about. 2 headers, 1 offside, 1 easily saved. Easy save in the end, really, for Alfred Gomes. So, yeah, interesting, the game now. 1 apiece. I suppose it could go the other way. Instead, get late winner, Stade Rennais. I don't think that would do justice to the game, though. But for me, Chelsea just a little bit guilty of taking their foot, off the gas. And most decent teams are going to make you pay for that. Lampard then making wholesale changes. I guess it doesn't really matter. Moussa is the other player who has come on. He came on for Girassi, I think. So, Rennes coming forward again, down the right hand side as ever. Traore played well this game. This time held up by Kai Havertz. And finds Grenier. He chips the ball out left hand side. So a good ball. De Castillo looking for the early ball in. And that's blocked into the path of Mendy for a comfortable take for him. So yeah, a lot of the hard work done. I mean, the other teams have been needing snookers in the group, really. And it's hard to see Krasnodar or this Rennes side performing any kind of miracle. And I think then you get countbacks anyway. So, Sevilla and Chelsea have probably done enough anyway, haven't they, to get through the group. But like we said, it's just the thought of, easier games coming up in the group, really. That was a nice thought. You want to top the group as well, don't you? And everything you do in European football, works out in coefficients and all that, doesn't it? But anyway, ball just booted up by Ziyech, and then blocked away by the number 4 Niamsi. There's now a chance for Chelsea. Into the box they go. Timo Werner spoons it into the keeper. Oh, it's brilliant from Giroud! Brilliant from Giroud! and he may well have scored the winner. Oh dearie me, heartbreak for Rennes. In the end, I just thought that Timo Werner's poor finish there would cap off a pretty miserable night for him. Anyway, Ziyech went forward, puts Werner into the box again because he's got no left foot. He's waiting for it on his right. The ball then spooned up in the air, and Giroud, from a standing start, gets enough on the ball. He's so strong in the air, you can't deny him. But again, that'll paper over the cracks of Timo Werner's poor miss. He's too right-footed, really. At times when the ball comes from the right, you've got to hit with your left foot, even if that's your standing leg. Unimpressed with him. But there we go. I keep banging the drum for Olivier Giroud as well. And there he goes. Absolutely brilliant. Timo Werner comes off. And another substitute as Reece James comes on. Gomis made an okay save then. But the ball went up in the air. And then that's Giroud territory, all right. And, they'll be top of the group tab. We're just looking at the table. Well, they'll be 2 points clear of Seville tonight. They'll be home and hosed with a 2-1 victory. Arose on the park. It's now Rennes 1, Chelsea 2. Well, a good break from Chelsea. 3 against 2. Ziyech found Timo Werner out on the left-hand side. He's all right foot. He took it with that right foot. Off balance, scraped it into the keeper. Alfred Gomis spooned the ball up into the air in saving it, and there, like a flash, was the dominant aerial figure, Olivier Giroud, with a powerful header into the roof of the net for the substitute to give Chelsea the points. Probably. Anyway, we're only a minute left as Benjamin Bourigeaud picks up a card. And just now, I think they will feel really dispirited. They got back in. Would have liked to have at least grabbed a draw. Looks like the game has gone south for Stade Rennais. And again, when you've got a strong bench, you can bring the players on, the like of Giroud. It doesn't hurt, does it? And again, he scores goals. So little game time. He's so effective, isn't he? And you don't have to bang the drum for Giroud. His stats tell its own story, don't they? Anyway, ball in the middle of the park right now. We're into the dying embers of added time. There's De Silva into the back of Giroud, the back of his neck. Now we're driving forward. Amari Traore. Ball to Nzonzi, didn't give him much chance. Again, Traore stabs the ball forward, headed away by Thiago. Then Silva, then Kante. Ball all the way back. I don't know where we're finding this time. Neither now does the referee. Blows his whistle. And so 2-1 victory for Chelsea in the end. They just knew too much for Rennes. Should have scored early on. Timo Werner missed from close range. But eventually Mason Mount found a lovely pinned pass for Callum Hudson-Odoi. He drove one in for 1-0 at the break, although Mendy had to do a little bit of work with a couple of saves in that first half. Rennes came out doing their level best to get back in it. And their best player, Serhou Guirassy, got a header from close range from a corner to draw the scorelines level. When it looked like it was going to be a draw, then it wasn't. Ziyech found Timo Werner's shot safe but spooned up in the air. And then it was Giroud, the strongest of the players in the air, to get on the end of it. And a thumping header into the back of the net made it 2-1 to Chelsea. In the end, they top the group and then now will go through in Group E. Thanks for joining us.